Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Pulp Crazy. I'm your host, Jason Aiken. This week's episode we will be celebrating Robert E. Howard's birthday. Howard was born on January 22nd, 1906, making today his 110th anniversary. In honor of this occasion, I allowed myself a little treat. I read the Conan short story, The Man-Eaters of Zamboula, for the first time. Now, I had been saving the Man-Eaters of Zamboula in red nails for a special occasion. And I figured, what better than Howard's 110th anniversary? The Man-Eaters of Zamboula first appeared in the November 1935 issue of Weird Tales, where it was published as Shadows in Zamboula. I read it in Del Rey's The Conquering Sword of Conan, where it is the penultimate completed Conan story in the book, as well as the entire Del Rey Conan series as a whole, for that matter. Man-Eaters of Zamboula takes place in the desert city of Zamboula on a pretty chaotic night. But that goes without saying where Conan is concerned. Zamboula is a city in the country of Shem. The city was originally founded by Stygians, but was later conquered by the Turanians. During the course of the story, it's still an outpost of Turan, and ruled by a Turanian satrap named Junjur Khan. But it's said Khan's mistress, the beautiful Nefertari, rules over him. The story gets its title from the men of Darfar, a cult of savage cannibals who were slaves to the people of Zamboula by day and roamed the city streets by night. The Darfar and the people of Zamboula have a bit of an understanding. The people of Zamboula know there are too many men of Darfar for them to risk angering, so everyone turns a blind eye to their nocturnal activities, as long as they don't abduct and eat the locals. Visitors to the city are fair game, though. Thus, when night falls, the citizens of Zamboula stay inside behind locked doors, and every nook and cranny in the city is spoken for and barricaded. This unusual situation is the catalyst for Conan's involvement in the story. He decides to spend the night in an inn, but it just so happens the innkeeper has made a deal with the men of Darfar. He's agreed to let them come into the establishment at night and abduct his guests in return for keeping the valuables of the abductees. But Conan being Conan, his natural instincts warn him of danger, and he's able to fight off the Darfar who attempt to ambush him in his room. He makes his way out into the city streets and comes across a naked woman, a dancing girl, Zabibi, escaping from the very clutches of the men of Darfar. Conan assists her, and she fills him in on what's going on in the city. She also convinces him to help her and her lover against the machinations of Totrismek, a sorcerer and archpriest of the ape god, Hanuman. Zabibi infers that she will sleep with Conan after he helps her with this task. I really don't want to go into any more detail than that, but this just gives you an idea of the interesting, multi-layered situation Robert E. Howard placed Conan in this short story. He masterfully packs the Man-Eaters of Zamboula with rich lore and some fantastic action scenes. One thing I will mention, though, is that Conan meets a rare, genuine physical threat in this story. And I'm not talking about the dark wizard Totrismek. I'm talking about the wizard's servant, Baal Tior, the Strangler. The Man-Eaters of Zamboula is a great sword and sorcery tale, and I'd put it in the upper middle range of the Conan yarns in quality. It doesn't quite crack the top tier with such classics as The Tower of the Elephant and Queen of the Black Coast, but it's been my experience that you really can't go wrong with Robert E. Howard writing Conan. As a matter of fact, I find even the lesser regarded Conan tales to be interesting reads, and that's a real testament to Howard's talent as a writer. He's a master of telling fast-paced, action-oriented weird tales. His descriptions, energy, and overall storytelling ability are just phenomenal. If you're interested in learning more about Conan the Cimmerian, check out my Conan the Cimmerian episode I did during the early days of Pulp Crazy. I give you a pretty solid overview of the character in that one. But let me apologize in advance for the crappy mic I used to have. Aside from that, I'd highly recommend that you pick up the 3 Del Rey Conan collections. The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian, The Bloody Crown of Conan, and The Conquering Sword of Conan. Start with The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian, as that should give you a nice sample of what Conan and Robert E. Howard are all about. The Del Rey collections are still in print and available in paperback, ebook, and audiobook formats. I'll put links to them in the show notes. I'm also going to link to the Robert E. Howard Foundation website. They've recently undergone some changes to their membership structure, where the most basic membership is free now. So be sure to pop over there and have a look around too. In the coming months, they're going to be adding a discussion forum, and that's something I'm really looking forward to. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Pulp Crazy. Happy birthday to Robert E. Howard. Pulp Crazy is located at pulpcrazy.com. I'm at Pulp Crazy on Twitter, and facebook.com/pulpcrazy. My YouTube channel is located at youtube.com/pulpcrazy. You can also email me at pulpcrazy@gmail.com. My author site is jasonscottaiken.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.